At 9:17 p.m., Sarah's phone rang. She almost ignored it, but then she saw the caller ID. Her bank. She answered. The man on the other end sounded calm, professional. He told her there had been a suspicious attempt to access her account. Sarah immediately sat up. What kind of attempt? The caller told her someone had tried to make a large purchase using her account. He said the bank had blocked it. But he needed to verify that Sarah was really the account holder. Then the caller said her full name. Sarah froze. He also knew the last 4 digits of her card. For a moment she stopped questioning him. Maybe this really was her bank. Then the caller said something that sounded completely normal. We're sending a 6-digit verification code to your phone. Sarah's phone buzzed. A message appeared. Your verification code is... The caller spoke again. Just read the code back to me. Sarah looked at the screen. 6 numbers. That's all he wanted, or at least that's what she thought. Sarah looked at the message again. Something didn't feel right. Why would her bank need a code that the bank had just sent to her phone? She asked the caller a simple question. What do you need the code for? The man's voice changed. Not much, but enough. He sounded impatient. If you don't give me the code, I can't secure your account. Sarah stared at the phone. Now she was listening differently. Sarah didn't answer. Instead, she hung up. The room became completely silent. For a few seconds, she simply stared at the phone. Then she did something the caller never expected. She called her bank herself. A real bank employee answered. Sarah explained what had happened. There was a pause. Then the employee said, "Mom, we did not call you." Sarah's stomach dropped. The verification code hadn't been sent to confirm her identity. It had been sent because someone was trying to log in. Sarah sat completely still. She looked at the verification code again. Then she looked at the number that had called her. The two things suddenly made sense. The caller hadn't been trying to protect her account. He had been trying to get inside it. The real bank employee explained what had happened. Someone had attempted to log into Sarah's account. The bank's security system had sent a verification code to Sarah's phone. The scammer already knew her username and password. All he needed was one more thing, the code. Sarah couldn't understand how they had gotten her password. The bank employee asked her a question. Do you reuse passwords on other websites? Sarah paused. She did. Months earlier, Sarah had used the same password on another website. That website had suffered a data breach. She had changed the password there, but not everywhere, and that small mistake had followed her. Sarah looked at the phone number that had called her. It looked legitimate. That was the scary part. The caller ID hadn't looked suspicious at all. But caller ID can be spoofed. The number on your screen isn't proof of who's calling. Sarah made one more call. Not to the number that had called her. She called the official number printed on the back of her bank card. This time, she knew she was speaking to the real bank. The real bank confirmed that the attempted login had been blocked. Sarah's money was still there, but the employee told her something important. She had been very close to losing access to the account. If she had read the 6-digit code aloud, the scammer might have been able to get in. That night, Sarah changed her bank password. Then she changed the passwords on her other important accounts. She enabled 2-factor authentication, and she wrote down one rule she knew she would never forget. Never give a verification code to someone who calls you. Not your bank, not a delivery company, not tech support, not anyone. If someone calls you unexpectedly and asks for a code, hang up. Sarah thought the night was over. Then 10 minutes later, her phone rang again. The same number. Sarah stared at the screen. This time, she didn't answer. She already knew who was on the other end. The next morning, Sarah wrote down everything she remembered about the call. The first warning sign was obvious. The caller had contacted her unexpectedly. She hadn't called the bank. The bank had called her. The second warning sign was pressure. The caller wanted Sarah to act immediately. He didn't want her to think. He didn't want her to hang up. He wanted her to stay on the phone. The third warning sign was the verification code. Sarah had received the code herself. It was meant to prove she was the person trying to sign in, but the caller wanted her to hand that code over. That should never happen. The fourth warning sign was the caller ID. It looked real, but that didn't mean the call was real. Scammers can make a phone number appear to be someone you trust. And the fifth warning sign was the simplest. The caller didn't want Sarah to verify anything independently. He wanted her to trust him. That was the moment Sarah realized the safest response was also the simplest. Hang up. Sarah realized there was something else she could have done. The moment the caller mentioned suspicious activity, she could have hung up. Then she could have called the bank herself, using a number she already trusted. She also learned what not to do. Never call the suspicious number back. Never click a link the caller sends you. Never install software because someone on an unexpected call tells you to. And never give away a security code. If you're worried about your account, contact the company yourself. Use the number on your card. Use the official website or app. Don't use the number the caller gives you. Don't use the link they send you. Verify independently. That afternoon, Sarah called her mother. She told her exactly what had happened. Not because Sarah had lost money. She hadn't. But because the next person might not be so lucky. Her mother listened carefully. Then she asked one question. "What should I do if they call me?" Sarah smiled. "Hang up." Then she added, "If you're worried, call the bank yourself." It was simple, and that simple decision had saved her account. If someone unexpectedly calls you about a problem with your bank account, stop. Don't panic. Don't let them rush you, and don't assume the caller is legitimate just because the number looks familiar. If the caller asks for sensitive information, hang up. You don't have to argue. You don't have to explain. Just end the call. Then verify the problem yourself. Use the official phone number on your bank card, or open the official app yourself. Never use a number or link provided by the unexpected caller. And remember the most important part. A verification code is meant to verify you. If someone calls you and asks you to read that code to them, don't. After a suspicious call, change your password if you think someone may have access to your account. Use a unique password. Tune two-factor authentication, and check your account for anything you don't recognize. And if someone tries to scam you, tell someone, a family member, a friend, your bank, or the appropriate authorities. Sharing what happened can help someone else recognize the same trick before it's too late. That evening, Sarah's phone rang again. She looked at the screen. Unknown number. For a moment, she remembered the night before. Then she smiled. She already knew what to do. The first time, Sarah had been afraid of losing her money. The second time, she understood something more important. Scammers depend on urgency. They depend on fear. And they depend on you reacting before you have time to think. So remember 3 things. Stop. Hang up. Verify. You don't have to decide anything while a stranger is pressuring you on the phone. Take control of the conversation by ending it. Sarah didn't lose $1 that night, but she came very close. And sometimes the difference between getting scammed and walking away safely is simply having enough time to stop and think. If a call makes you panic, hang up, verify, and never give someone else control of your next decision.